Hey everyone, I think this is the 5th time I've tried to vlog today. I get to like 10 minutes and then someone calls or something happens and I'm trying not to vlog at night so I can go to sleep. I'm at a point that I just can't information anymore. My chest really hurts. Really only the one thing I want to focus on today is the silly idea that I can try to be my old self. What am I, 10 days, 11 days, whatever, after surgery? I tried. And I got to the point where that just wasn't happening because I don't have patience. Just breathe because my chest really hurts. I did take an oxy. And I had to get to sleep soon because tomorrow is first day of school for my son, who's a senior. And I wanted to go to buy clothes with him today because it's the last back to school clothes shopping that I'll be able to do. And guess what? I wasn't able to do it. And then we were actually supposed to be on a campus tour today. And guess what? Wasn't able to do it. I had to cancel on Monday. I originally had it scheduled when I thought my surgery was going to be on August 10th. And I'm like, oh, I think I'll be okay to go by the 31st. And then they pushed it back 10 days, so it didn't happen. But the reason why a combination of things of why I was pushing myself a bit today was the nurse came this morning and I could tell she had a busy day. She was running a little late and she took my vitals. I've been feeling hot on and off, but I don't usually get fevers, but I've been feeling hot on and off. But my temperature was still normal. But for me, normal is like 97.1, so when it gets like 98.6, for me, that's high. I think I'm just run down. I don't think there's anything else going on, and I do think there's still some residual pollen stuff going on from my flower thing. Colorful flowers are pretty, but don't work very well with my lungs. I hope you can hear me okay. I don't have the stamina to talk loud. And she took my blood pressure. It was 120/80, which is as normal as you can get. And I don't even remember the rest of the stuff that she said. But I do remember her saying that she wasn't gonna see me for the rest of the week because their week starts on Sunday. And I had someone come on Sunday and Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. So that ends the week. And she said she'll come on Tuesday of next week. And then she is recommending discharge. And I'm like, discharge? Like, what? Too soon? I've only seen her twice. I mean, I've had 4 visiting nurses, 4, sessions, whatever. I think today's session, she was in and out. It seemed like 15 minutes. I wanted to tell her things that were going on, but she was in a rush, and that boils down to a bigger story that I don't have time to get into today, but the bigger story of there are not enough nurses out there. And the nurses that are out there, they're so overworked. They have so many patients to work with. It's crazy. And that's a bigger picture thing. One thing I will shortly on my soapbox say, which I can't remember if I've said before, but on their behalf, they're the nurses that come to work with people who have gone through mastectomies, though as they're training, none of them have ever actually witnessed, it's not part of the training, to actually watch the surgery of what it's like to have a mastectomy. To me, that makes 0 sense. And whatever rules there are that are like blocking that from happening need to change. Because if you're taking care of someone that's had a procedure, like patient after patient after patient, you should be trained in knowing, okay, this is why you feel this way because this is what happened. I'm sure there are YouTube videos, but I know, at least from watching TV and stuff, that there's observation rooms that people can sit there, nurses, and observe in order to learn. A few of them were frustrated that they'd never had a chance to do that. So maybe if you're listening, and you're a doctor or a nurse or whoever, I think it is crucial for a nurse who is taking care of patients that have dealt with mastectomies to actually observe. It doesn't have to be frontline observe, like observe from an observation room or something, what that procedure is like. Even if it's not the full 6 hours or whatever, I think it's important to see. It should be added into their training to help them. I'm not being judgy of them. I'm just saying to not be given that opportunity seems ridiculous to me. So talk to someone and go get on that. But when she talked about discharge, and then last night, I'm tired and I can't remember, but yesterday, I was told that I don't have to take pictures anymore of my breasts to send to the breast surgeon because everything looks good and it's healing okay, which is good news. Weird news, because I myself personally have only taken one set of pictures of myself to send in. And I feel like doing that is a process to help you accept your body. So it was like, now I have to do that. So the main focus of today's vlog is like ways to, or what I did today to help me on the road to accepting my body. And then I made some poor choices after that. The other news, which I can't recall if I shared or not, was one of my to-dos was to call the breast surgeon about a follow-up, because it said on my discharge papers that I needed to make a 2-week follow-up with the breast surgeon. And she said she's been looking at the pictures. Everything looks great. I'm healing well. There's no signs of anything being wrong. I'm on the antibiotics still. At this point, she hands it over to plastics, and then she hands it over to the medical oncologist that I'll see in 2 weeks. And she said, your next appointment will be a follow-up in 6 months. She said, we'll reach out in February. And I'm like, that's so far away. It's August. And she's saying to reach out in February. That seems like 20 years from now. And while that's good news, it's like, I'm almost having like abandonment issues of some sort. I don't, that's probably not the best word. Like I said, I'm not informationalizing well today. Words are not working for me. Numbers aren't either. My head is fried. And I didn't really do anything. I did, but I didn't. I didn't do any upper level thinking things. What I did do after all that information is I'm like, you know what? These are things out of my control, and me wanting to have some control. I'm like, I need to start learning to accept my body. What do I have control over? That's not a control freak thing. That's a matter of, in anything in life, when you don't have control over something, which there's a billion things you don't have control over. It's like, what do you have control over? Instead of being reactive to what you don't have control over, be proactive for the things that you do have control over. So I'm like, what's a safe thing to do that I have control over? And I'm like, oh yeah, Barb told me, you know, it's been a couple days since you've taken a shower. You know, that shower was devastating for me. It needed to be done, but it's like a freaking day affair. With the, you know, the unhooking of the drains and putting the lanyards on, hooking those up, making sure you're all set, you know, knowing where to put the chair and getting all the pieces together, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of stuff. It's not you just hop in the shower like I used to and have music on and just using my loofah and shave my little legs and go about my day. That's not what showers look like anymore. At least not for the short term. So even at that point, what was it, like 1 in the afternoon maybe? I shut my door, I texted Barb and my son, and I said, I'm okay, and I'm gonna be in my bathroom for a bit. I'm like, you're gonna hear the shower water, don't flip out, I'm fine. If you hear a thud, I might not be fine. But like, I just need to not hear sounds and not have information and just exhibit as much control as I could over what's happening to me. So I tried meditating, but then I realized meditation has words. So meditating was not working for me. So I have on one of my apps, they're all over YouTube too, just music, no words, just soundscapes. Or there's some, like I was just listening to one where it's not a soundscape, but it's like certain tones. It's not really like music. It's almost like a new agey kind of thing. I can't explain it, but it's tones. So it's very, like, it's not a lot of changes in pitches. It's just like, you know, one sound, maybe it'll change it up a little bit, maybe it'll go down a little bit, but there's not a lot of thought that's exhibited when you hear that. So I had my ear pods in, put them on noise canceling. You know, I'm realizing a lot of the sensory issues I'm having is I just can't process all of this. And I know that's normal. So again, what do I have control over? Shut out everything and just process on one thing. And right then I'm processing on my body and understanding my body and getting that this is my body now. And it's gonna look different. I'm not gonna have the drains forever. I'm not gonna have scars forever, I hope. I mean, they'll be lighter. They're not gonna be purple like they are now. Even with the implants, like, my boobs don't look normal right now. But I know that takes time, and I just have to learn patience. So what I did was I put the AirPods on, put the noise canceling option thing on, and listened to that just tonal sounds. I found I am not a pot smoker, by the way. It does not have a good effect on me. I don't like being around it. I don't like how people act when they're high. I just don't. Even CBD oils and stuff, which I know is such a huge thing now. There's just some part of me that's like, yeah, no, whatever. But I get Therabox, which is, I don't know if I've mentioned that before. It's like a monthly box of stuff that's sent to you. It's like therapeutic. So it's stuff like I had a sleep journal that was sent. Sometimes they'll send like a cozy little scarf or fun little socks or bath bombs or teas. I got these really cool, it looks like a bullhorn, but it's an essential oils like nose ring, basically. It's made of like a silicone, and you take the thing and you just like pop it in your nose. I mean, you can go into public if you want to. I probably wouldn't. But something was going on where I wasn't feeling well. Oh, and I kept sneezing all the time. And there was one that said immunity. And I'm like, all right. So I put that in, and like, it just, you know, you have a combination of essential oils. It's not strong at all that you're gonna be like, whoa, but enough that it goes up and then you smell it, and it's not like you have to light incense or, you know, or put like essential oils, something around you. It's like, it's right by your nose, but it's subtle, so that when you're inhaling, that's what you're inhaling. And it was awesome. So anyway, one of the things that was in there were these 3 mani-pedi, like mini bath bombs. They're small. I can't take a bath. I mean, not right now, but it's a mani-pedi thing. And I'm like, you know, a lot of parts of me can't get wet right now because of the, you know, the tubes are still in, the drains are still in, the tape from where my stitches are, all that stuff, whatever. But my legs can get wet, which means my feet can get wet. So I took one of those mini bath bombs with a CBD oil and dropped it in. It was like an orangey thing in the tub, had warm water. Just filled it, you know, a little bit just to cover my feet, and just had a little, you know, petty, I don't mean petty with like cutting toenails. I can't reach down there to do that. Like no nail polish, none of that. But just the bath bomb with my feet. And that was like my essential oil thing. And I'm like, all right, here's the CBD part. I had stuff to do today, but I'm like, it's just not gonna get done. I need to be in a self-care place today because I'm hearing news that's really hitting me hard. And I should be happy about it, and I'm just more worried about things going away And deep down my head knows they're not going away, they're just changing. And Lord knows I'm used to change. So I sat, I had the shower chair on the outside of the shower and just swung my legs over and just had my feet in the water and listened to the music. And I started doing meditation, like played in the water a little bit with my feet kicking around, whatever. And shut the meditation off after 5 minutes because I couldn't do words. It's funny because I was in the early days of these vlogs, I would talk about Angelina Jolie being referred to as a verb and not a noun, and how annoying that was. And now I see myself as using a lot of nouns as verbs. Like, I can't information today. I can't words today. I can't lyrics today. So I had that going with the CBD oil, whatever, and I don't know, it's just orange on my feet. I mean, just smelled orangey, that was it. I don't know. And then I looked down and I noticed my legs, and I'm like, I have not shaved since before surgery. They told me not to shave after surgery because, well, A, it's hard to bend down or reach, for my calves to shave. And the second part is the sensory part, the nerve part. My nerves are in hyperdrive because of the surgery. Like, throughout my body, they're in hyperdrive. You know, I didn't have surgery on my legs, nor did I have surgery on my armpits. On the inside, they took the lymph nodes and whatever, but there's no incision as far as I know on my armpits. But my nerve endings are in hyperdrive. And they said they would suggest I not shave because because of the weird sensation and not being normal, I can't really tell like the right feelings as I'm shaving, and it's very, very, very possible I would cut myself in a lot of different ways and unintentionally. They said I could use like an electric razor, which I don't have one, and I'm not gonna use my kids because that's kind of weird. So my armpits I don't care so much because I'm wearing, like, I mean, I have short sleeve shirts on, but you don't see my armpit hair, so I don't really care. But my legs, it bothers me because it's August, and I've been cold a lot, so I haven't been wearing shorts and stuff. And today I'm like, you know what? I want to wear shorts. I want to wear like normal clothes. I want to look normal. I know my hair is not going to look normal for a while because I can't, like, I had Barb put it back today in a bun, and it's like, 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to be winding down to go to bed. This is just what my hair is going to look like. Oh, I'm actually back to my black glasses too. I just realized that as I'm looking at the thing, because I've been dizzy a lot, and dawned on me today that I had gotten those progressive glasses right before my surgery, and the one side is too tight on my ear. They're not lined up right, and that's adding to the dizziness. I haven't been wearing my contacts a lot because I can't sleep with my contacts in, but I don't get dizzy when my contacts are in. So I'm realizing I don't think it has anything to do with any of this stuff. It's the progressives are not aligned right. So I'll have to get back to the eye doctor to have them fix that. Yeah, so I went back to my distance glasses today, and I don't feel dizzy at all. I mean, I was to the point where I was walking in my apartment down a hall, and I'd like bang into a wall, not hard, but like started walking diagonal, because I'm tired. And with the progressives being off, that's the only thing I can think of why I'm so dizzy. Nothing's changed with my medication. I took the Oxy today, but that was literally like an hour ago or something. So I'm in the bath, and I see my hairy legs, and I don't really care that they're hairy. But I'm like, let me try to be normal, respecting my body and the parts I can and can't touch, but let me try to be normal. So I had to ask Barb to come in to get me my razor. My back was facing her, but she's seen my front side. But it felt different with her coming in. I'm like, I don't want her to look at me, which maybe is a good thing. Because before I'm like, I don't care if you look at me because these aren't mine. that's my, that's where my head was at. They're not mine. They still don't feel like mine. I feel like they're two people that are trying to be friends with me, and I'm like, nope, I want my old friends. Even though my old friends were toxic. Well, one of my old friends was toxic. The other one just kind of went along for the ride. It's hard to vlog at night because I get so tired and I'm like, what am I saying? But then like things don't happen during the day usually early enough to have things to talk about. But the bathroom showering, bathing thing was huge. So she came in, got me the razor. I'm like, I'm not gonna slip my wrist, don't worry. I couldn't do that anyway with the kind of razor I have. That's awful, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like, I'm gonna use this for my legs and I'm gonna be careful. I'm not gonna be dumb about the whole thing. And I knew that even if I got a line done, like, a line of hair gone on my legs and it hurt, I just stop. I don't care if I have one line shaved and the other's not. I really don't care. So I took a washcloth. I didn't even put water or soap on it first. And I didn't use shaving lotion or anything. I just got a washcloth and made it wet, not with the CBD oil, just from the water from the oh my God, what is it called? From the faucet in the tub. I am not vocabularying today. Holy cow. It just had water on it. I wiped my left leg down. I'm a righty, so I feel like that's why it was easier on my left side. And I didn't want to reach over because it was too much to reach. But I crossed my leg over, like making like a number 4. I crossed my left ankle over my right knee. And I just shaved very slowly, like a line up, and it went well. And I just kept going. And then I shaved my calf. And then I went to my kneecap. I'm like, oh, I have hairs there too. So that I shaved too. I didn't cut myself. So I'm like, if I can shave my knee and not cut myself, that's a good sign. And then wiped it off when I was done. I used some of that Cetaphil soap and, cleaned it off. And then went up to my thigh, which was weirder because it gets closer to more sensitive areas. So I didn't go, I probably went at mid-thigh and just stopped because I didn't feel comfortable going higher than that. Plus I was sitting in the shower chair, so I couldn't really go super high. And then when I went to do, I'm like, okay, if I can do my left leg, I can do my right leg. But it was too awkward with the angle of shaving my right leg with my right arm. With the position I had with the drains and stuff. I put the drains on the lanyards like I had done last time, but it was just cumbersome. I'm like, I don't know what to put where. If there's someone, like if somebody were helping me, I probably could have swung the lanyard, not swung, but moved the lanyard around my back. But then I wouldn't be able to see it, and I didn't want to get like tied up. So I did the best I could with my right leg. I did end up straightening it out and leaning over to shave most of it. And it was more uncomfortable, so I just, I didn't do a great job, but I did it enough. And then washed my right thigh, same thing, just halfway up. And then I stopped because I was in the shower chair. I wasn't over stuff. Shut the water off. I have orange stains in my tub, but the cleaning lady I have is coming on Thursday, so I'm not gonna scrub it. She can clean it. That's one of my my deserved pleasure, not my guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty. And then I swung my legs around and realized I don't have a towel to dry myself off with. So I had to ask to have a towel brought in. But the key thing is I'm doing these things now, which is the proactive part, because that way I know next time that I'm showering, here are the 20 things that I need in order to shower. So I don't get in that situation again, where I realize that the bath mat's behind me and I can't swing it over, and I'm not going to finagle stuff because I don't want to tip over in the shower chair. There's no back to the shower chair. And then once I did that and, finagled my drains back in front, course, I saw myself in the mirror. And that's a processing thing still. I did not have pictures taken yesterday, and I did not have pictures taken today. So I hadn't seen my boobs in, 2 days. Almost 3, give it the timing. So, it's been a bit. And everything's healing fine. I don't really have any weird pain at the stitch sites. But I looked at myself and I'm like, I was wearing, I wasn't wearing the bra. Yeah, I wasn't wearing the bra. Oh, but I took off the bra while I was facing the tub. That's why I didn't see it till after. Because originally I had the bra on because I was only planning on soaking my feet. And then realized I wanted to, shave my legs and stuff, whatever. And air myself out a little bit. So anyway, I turned, when I got out, saw myself in the mirror. And I'm like, this is the first time I'm in front of a mirror. And it's just me and the mirror and the new ladies. I don't consider them ladies. I consider them more as girls because they're young. They're new. And I had to just sit, no matter how long it took. Maybe that's part of the reason why they give you leave for stuff like this, because it's an acceptance ritual almost for your body. And I just looked at the mirror. I didn't look down. I looked straight at the mirror. And I noticed that like the sides of them are starting to, like they're getting to look more like boobs, like more round and not as misshapen. I know that they, from what I understand, they change shape quite a bit until they're at their final like place. So I know what they look like now is not what they're gonna look like. And the fact that I don't have nipples, that's all down the road. That's not for now. I'm not gonna ever share pictures with you. What I will say, of that. What I will say is if you see the thumbnail I used when I had the pink bra on, you'll see a line that goes, I'm not leaning. You'll see a line that goes like this way on the bra, which I originally thought was stitching on the bra, but it's not. It's actually my incision sites. So people have incisions in different places depending on what their boobs look like before, what size they are, what they're doing to them. A mastectomy might seem like a cookie cutter kind of thing, but it's totally not. Everyone is so different. What's really freaky is that 2 of my very good friends are going through cancer treatments for breast cancer right now. Like, what are the odds? Like, one of my friends, it's like she's a couple months ahead of me, I think, if that. And I wish it were the other way around so I could help her, but she's already had her surgery. She's undergoing other treatment right now. And my other friend had breast cancer once before and had one breast removed, then it came back. So she just had the other breast removed. So she gets it. And she's been through it before. It's just so interesting to hear people's stories. And other people that I've said, I want to have a conversation with you to hear your story. And I just haven't, again, not to take it personally or anything, but I haven't like really had a conversation on the phone with someone to be like, hey, here's what's going on. Anyway. I stared in the mirror for quite a bit. Part of it's looking, part of it's touching. So again, start with what you have control over. I took the washcloth and I wiped my arms down. I did notice that where I had the IV in, I don't know if you could see that, it's like a black and blue here, which is typical. I have that here where my IV was, and then a little sensitivity on the inside of here from, I can't remember what the heck they even did in there. Drew blood, I'm sure, but. So washed up to my shoulders on both sides. And then made the washcloth wet again and wrung it out as best I could because I don't want water. Yeah, I can have water dripping down here, but I went across my chest And even that, I realized, like, I wasn't rubbing hard at all, but I noticed that when I moved the washcloth, my skin was kind of red and blotchy from the pressure of using the washcloth, which was so interesting. You know, my body's way of telling me, like, no, 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 this is still a hazard zone. Be nice to me. And doing it myself, like, I can't see while looking down where the tape is. And I don't want to get the tape wet. I know it can get wet. I just didn't want to get it wet. So I went in between, I was snacking on popcorn. I was snacking on popcorn, again, trying to have ownership because I love popcorn. I had Gatorade, but diluted it with water because it's just too sugary, in a red Solo cup. And I just emptied out my drains before doing this pedicure thing. And I look over and I look at the cup and I'm like, the cup is, oh, I have one right here. The cup is red. The cup is red. The Gatorade was like blood red. I'm like, the drains that I just used to, you know, or the cups where I put the stuff in from the drains is like literally the exact same color as the Gatorade. It was a little, it's been getting less translucent. I don't know what that means. I'll ask tomorrow. One handy thing I've been doing is the fact of using Sharpies while I have this on here, like putting Sharpies and writing stuff on the cups. So I didn't have smaller cups. I've gotten them now, but like in the event that I'm up at 1:30 in the morning, which I don't plan on being, but I can take Tylenol at 1:30 in the morning if I want to. So I write with Sharpie on here because I won't remember if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm in pain or something. I can take Tylenol at 1:30, so I just put it right in the cup. I have the pills in here, and then I have a glass of water next to it, inside of another container so I don't spill it like I did the other day. I can't remember if I shared that or not. I think I did. But I saw that, and then I was so weirded out that I'm like, the Gatorade is the same color as what I just drained out. I'm like, ew. So my Instagram page is private. I only share it with my, you know, I only accept friends or share with friends that I know I can say anything to. So I took a picture with the CBD bath bomb and my feet in the tub and the red Solo cup with the bloody Pedialyte in it and my popcorn. And I'm like, this is what breast cancer looks like. It was just, the analogy of the blood and the Gatorade was just gross. Anyway, so I took the washcloth, and the whole point of the popcorn was that I noticed I had a little like fuzzy thing from the popcorn in between my boobs. So I very gently took the washcloth and went in between my breasts. Not hard, very gently. I can feel that. I did notice, and then again, I just try to expand where I'm doing that. So it still hurts. It still hurts. Like there's pain here and sensitivity. And if I go lower, it starts to get numb. But the numb part does start lower than it did before, which makes me happy. So I stayed away from the tape, and I just like blotted with the water, you know, just gently. I tried to do the sides as best I could. I did my armpits with soap because they smelled. That's only happened since like I started the whole perimenopause thing. I never used to really have smelly pits. But I used soap, but again, still super sensitive. Not as bad as it was. And I just, you know, cleaned it with soap on my armpits. And wiped it with a regular, just with water. And then in my belly again is like crazy distended. I have an appointment with the nutritionist on Friday, so I'll talk to her about that. Because I've been going to the bathroom just fine. I'm like back to normal again with the bathroom, which is great. Not sure what's going on with my stomach. They tell me it's still from the anesthesia, which I very much so believe, but I look like I'm pregnant again. And the pressure is just kind of intense. Like it is a lot of pressure there. I don't think it's gas. I think it's a combination of things, but most likely still from the from the anesthesia. So, yeah, so I finished there. I can't wash my back. I did not want to call in anyone to help me wash my back. I wouldn't call my son in, but I didn't call Barb in to do my back. I didn't want anyone else to touch me but me. And I wasn't going to push to try to reach my back. Not happening. That's a question I have to ask tomorrow, is like, how am I supposed to wash my back? My face. I used soap and water on my face anyway, or not soap, but like cleanser or whatever on my face. But I washed my face with a washcloth. And my neck. Everything is just like, once I hit here, it's like here, that's where everything is sensitive. And then I was like, all right, I'm good. I blocked myself dry. I was pretty dry anyway. And I go to put my bra back on, which is the first time I've put my bra on and off by myself. I unclipped the drains from the lanyards, put them to the side, and realized when I went to put my bra on that all of that finagling made me a little bit sweaty. And then I realized I never cleaned underneath my boobs, because I do have an underneath my boobs, still not nearly as saggy as it was. Hurrah. That was weird. I took the washcloth. It feels I don't even really want to touch it right now. The underneath part of my boob, and I want to talk more because he explained how the whole underneath part works in supporting the implant. But I need him to explain that again tomorrow with me. It feels very heavy, which makes sense if it's holding, a implant that's the size that mine are. It feels very heavy. It feels like the skin is very stressed, almost like it's calloused or something, but it's not hard. It's not like rough, like callous, but I just feel like it's like used, or whatever the word is, used as a support, that something would be calloused. It's got a lot of weight to it. So I can't just like cut my bra and like lift it like I used to. Oh, that was bad. So I just arch my back ever so slightly and lift up a little bit. It's numb down there, and just hit the washcloth and was dabbing it and just did that. It's a really weird feeling underneath my boobs. And then I dried it gently, very, very, very sensitive. Let it air dry for a bit, and then put my bra back on. And then I'm like, all right, that was a lot. And now it's time to like keep with the owning it. And I'm like, I don't want to look like someone who has breast cancer today. So, and I had my lovely shaven legs. People say I have nice legs. I put shorts on today. Not just any shorts, like denim cool shorts. And even though my stomach's so distended and stuff, the lower half of my stomach is not. So my pants fit okay, and they're stretchy, fortunately. So I put my rolled jeans on, or shorts on, my denim shorts on. So they look cutesy and trendy. And I put this top on, which is not black. It's not like, it's somewhat form-fitting, but like, it's a size bigger. I've showed this in my fashion show once. It's got some little ribbing on the side here. It is a hoodie, but it's more fashionable than the other things that I've had on. So I put it on, and it, obviously with the drains, it looks bulky. One thing that I did do that was different yesterday, I'm noticing as I'm stripping, or whatever the term is, again, I can't vocabularize anymore today. When I milk the drains, it seems like the tubing is getting longer, like it's stretching out more, which makes sense, like, because you're pulling at it. But as I'm doing that, they're hanging lower. So the way I was looping the words, I can't word today. The way I was putting the tube through the black hook on my bra, or not the hook, but the circle on my bra, to get the tube kind of tucked up and neater, is now leaving a pretty big loop at the bottom of my shirts. And if I just get up and walk around, even with my pajama shirt on, that's big and loose, it's you can see the drain, and I don't want anyone seeing the drain. So I tried making a second loop inside, thinking that would be great. I did that yesterday, and I slept like that. And while it was nice for sleeping because everything was compact, and my shirts are super wide, it's a lot of stuff that's like on my belly and just something to get used to. I don't know if I like it better or worse. It's just a lot of stuff. And then when I put this hoodie on and I did the same setup, you know, the hoodie isn't tight. It's an extra large. It's got some give, but when you put it on, I mean, I look rectangular because of the drains and the tubes and all the stuff. So I look different. But if I put my hands in my hoodie and just pull it out a little bit, nobody would know what's going on other than me having my hands in my hoodie or thinking I'm fat or pregnant, whatever. So I did that, kept my hair as it is because I can't reach to do anything. I didn't want to ask anyone for help. I'm like, I have to get that I'm gonna go back to being independent Jen. Perfectly capable of asking for help, but knowing that I can't solely rely on other people for help. So I wanted to go for a walk, which might not have been the best choice because I had just done all this showering thing, which was tiring, and how I'm like, oh, I'll go for a walk. But I didn't want to go with anyone. I wanted to be by myself still. Again, didn't want a word, didn't want information. I don't want chit chat. It just had to be me, quiet, doing my thing. So I did that. Had my phone on me. It's funny the way where I walk is, you can see, like, throughout that, I actually sat in a rocking chair that was out there, and you can see that rocking chair straight out of the window where Barb was, and I never realized that you could see me from there. It was a little creepy in a way, but you look over, there's one window that you can see through the tree, and it's mine, and I never even realized that before. But I went down the stairs slowly. I will admit I was dizzy on the last set of stairs, but I made it down and I walked slow. What's hardest for me is walking down the step of a curb. And I really wonder tomorrow when I have my contacts in, when I go to the plastics, if I will still be dizzy because I'll have my contacts in, or if it truly is just the glasses. My depth perception is off. I think that's what it is. And there's no railing on a sidewalk, you know, whatever. So I walked across the street and I did an 8-minute walk, which seems like nothing, but also seemed like forever. I usually make a loop around the lawn, but I went like halfway. Actually, I don't even remember which way I went. And then I ended up going by the rocking chair, and I was gonna vlog from there, but then I started to, and then people were just walking in to get their packages, so I had to stop. And then my phone rang, and then, I mean, people were helping me, which was great, and my son was going clothes shopping by himself. And I'm like, I wanna be there. It's the last time I get to do that. I wanna help him pick out stuff. And I can't. I am going to start Stitch Fix for him because I hate to shop. He hates to shop. And I'm like, guess what? You can have your own personal shopper and it will cost you $20. And if you like the shirt, it doesn't really cost you $20 because it's $20 off. So I'm like, it's perfect for him. And he's old enough now that, like, I don't mind spending a little bit more on clothes for him because they'll last. So I'm like, problem solved. But we just have to sit down and, like, you know, I have to show him how the whole thing works. But I came inside and, because the vlogging wasn't working. Very hard getting back up the stairs. I told Barb I was coming back in, just give her a heads up, like, hey, I'm on my way, in case she wants to spot me. And I was walking slow. And I've kind of been in that mode since I got back. I said I wanted comfort food. We got Burger King for dinner, which I hope does not impact my my vitals tomorrow, because I don't usually get food like that. And certainly does not help the stomach problem of being distended when I'm eating like mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and a Whopper. I never eat that kind of stuff. But right now I just don't care. I had to be kind to myself today. And yeah, I wanted to share about the shower bath, whatever the hell you want to call it, sponge bath without the sponge. Because I needed to have ownership over me. Because I don't feel like my body is me. And I can't wait to go see my plastic surgeon tomorrow. He's got such a tremendously kind bedside manner. And I haven't seen him since before surgery. I've only seen him twice, like I said. I saw him when I met him for the half an hour, and I was like, yeah, he's the guy. Like, I just do. I have a very good gut instinct about things. Not everything, clearly, but about certain things I have a good gut instinct. And then the morning of surgery, when he told me, you know, everything will be okay, and I knew it would be. And astounded, I think, was the word. That either he is or people were astounded as to what a great job he did. I'm like, astounded. Wow. I have astounding breasts. Well, they will be astounding when they're able to be viewed with their grand opening. So that's tomorrow. I am starting physical therapy on Friday, which I'm excited about. They told me I can not stop breathing, but I can stop doing my breathing exercises because my lungs have been so clear that they're fine. So I'm still meditating and stuff, whatever, but I can stop, you know, the intentional practice of breathing and just breathe like I normally do or meditate, whatever. But we're moving along here. Whatever day I'm up to, 50, whatever. Moving along. And the cord's starting to get cut. And I'm taking ownership over that and doing what I can to not overdo, but to do enough. To love my body. I'm not even there yet. To like my body. I don't hate it anymore. These aren't foreigners to me anymore. They're visitors that I have to get are staying at my house forever. So that's where I am. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm hoping I'll have a big smile on my face tomorrow after seeing the doctor, because I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Yeah. All right. Have a great night. Everyone, one day, whatever. Again, I'm not wording, so whatever it is. Bye.